Gonna hear that a lot, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that? Let's start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge Indigenous people and ancestors whose land we now share. And we can move to the agenda 2.0. There's some additions on there for your viewing. And if anybody have anything else they'd like to add? Not a motion to adopt the agenda with the additions. Councillor Thies, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Yeah. And Terry, if you, I will, if I disagree, then I'll say so. Okay. But whatever.
If you disagree, don't say.
Yeah. So your silence means you're in favor.
Yes.
Okay, minutes from our previous meeting 2 weeks ago, they're there for review. Any discussion? Any errors, missions? Hearing none, get a motion. Councillor Shudd, all in favor? It's carried. Look at that, 4.0, no delegation. We have policies to review. We can move right on to 6.1.1. Item A is the annual Christmas social. There's some kind of a policy you're not supposed to talk about that in September.
And the only reason for the social early is so that we can advertise all of it properly.
Oh, okay.
So it is like, that is for the, sorry, wrong one.
This is for the try.
This is for the tri-council get together. So Northern Sunrise and the MDFPs and Catholic Normal Lights annually, apparently, what I found out, they have an annual get together just before Christmas. And this year the MDFPs is hosting, and potential dates that they put forward was the 21, 22, 28 of November or the 2nd or 3rd of December. So if council would continue that tradition, I just need a date and then obviously a motion that that you guys will attend.
Any dates that don't work?
Just the 28th of November, that's a mental health task force, but that will affect like all three of our councils, so I'm sure they'll end up
Okay.
scrapping that one anyway.
That's usually an evening meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at 5:30. So other than that, I was good with the other four options.
You're good with any of them?
I'm good with any.
I moved. Brett?
I'm not too sure about the
Okay, so they
22nd.
throw it there.
Yeah, fine.
Linda?
I said I'm not too sure about the 22nd. If I'm still on PLS, then I would be traveling to Grand Prairie that night on the 22nd. But I'm good with the. I guess I could leave from there if it's on the 22nd after the meeting with them.
One good thing is Berwin is on the way to Grand Prairie, so.
Yeah, that's just what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so preferably not the 22nd, but you could make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we can let them know that any of the dates other than the 28th.
Yeah.
Very good. Just get a motion to, and I guess they don't, do they need attendees today? Probably not. They're just looking for dates and attendees will follow later.
So I'll make that motion, Terry.
Thanks, Linda. Councillor Labisky moves that we let them know that those dates are available. All in favor? Carried. Okay, first edition, appointment to members of the Gym Museum Task Force. So we call at our joint meeting, we thought we would meet with the school division and see what options are to maybe try to save. We originally said the Manning Elementary School gymnasium, but I since told the school division, I said, yeah, we can meet whoever that was on the task force, and we may as well look at all options. We may as well look at the Colorado gym as a standalone one too, because it's probably a more modern, better building, but it may not be feasible, but that's up for them to tell us. So they've actually, I got an email from the school division from John Shadilsky saying that they want to meet sooner than later, and October the 2nd is a proposed date. So I guess they're going to hit a point of no return here pretty soon. That's going to hit the wrecking ball and there's no conversation after that, so. So I would volunteer to sit on there if, a copy of anybody and if somebody else wants to join me or.
Can be more than one person.
We probably don't, but,
The town is allocating two, so it could be,
and plus the CEOs are,
yeah, I think it's here, I think.
We can be on it. Travel, I'm sure it's will be here.
yeah,
Oops.
That was my thought to get somebody closer for traveling purposes.
I foresee at the end of a pretty brief meeting, but.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So yeah, you got $2 million, you can go ahead and have it and put all the utilities in,
And if Alana will take it.
but I mean. Thinking about, okay, so we have a motion to appoint myself and Gloria to this task force. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Next edition is Alberta Community Partnership.
Sorry, who made the motion?
Oh,
I can.
yeah, so you have what was Alberta's ACP?
So the objective of the ACP partnership is to improve the viability and long-term sustainability of municipalities. As one of the streams that they newly identified, there's also a collaboration part of it. And the intermunicipal collaboration project eligibility is focused on projects that result in regional municipal service delivery foundations or frameworks that align with broader regional or municipal priorities and initiatives. This can include new and enhanced regional emergency management frameworks, regional plans for emergency preparedness and disaster mitigation, and regional growth plans is the one that we're focusing on. So Northern Sunrise County, the MDFPs, the towns of Peace River and town of Peace River and the county of Northern Lights, and there's also, I think I forgot
Yeah, Grimshaw.
town of Grimshaw, so that was an honest mistake. We'll apply together for funding from this Alberta Community Partnership. So I just need a approval, obviously from council, and then also that we're going to do a letter of support if needed for that.
Yes, I think this was put forward by Northern Sunrise, suggested this, right, that this grant stream was available and.
And the county of Northern Lights would be applying just because we're already keeping the funds in-house.
Right.
For account.
Kind of doing the secretarial and
Yeah.
finance work, so. So any questions on that? And it's a non-matching grant, it's just an outright grant, there's no, funds required by the municipalities.
Well, I think there is a match, it's not a matching part, but there is a small percentage that we have to contribute, but we already contributed to $2,000 each, so we can probably just call that as our part of it.
Right. Okay. Any questions? I'll make a motion that we partner on this grant application. Linda, you probably can't see the screen, or are you sharing the screen? So we have a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the Alberta Community Partnership Report, and the Regional Energy Committee partners, which are the 5 municipalities, will apply for the grant stream.
Yeah, I can see it, Terry. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All in favor?
I agree.
Thank you, it's carried. Item D is another addition, request for a letter of support for NL Research Corporation.
I received an email from personnel from NL Research Corporation about a letter of support from the municipality for the building of an activated carbon plant in the county. He has also, he's gave me some documentation, but he prefers that it's not public yet, because I think they're waiting for the signing of the contract or something like that. But this would just be a letter of support to whoever is applying for funding to actually build this plant. There's also going to be some power generation as part of that. That's one of the byproducts of what they're doing with the activation of the carbon is to actually generate power. So, and he is linking that to our regional energy committee that sits and determine additional sources of power, which I think is actually a very good thing to support.
That's kind of interesting.
He did mention there would be, if you do get the funding, that there will be a fair amount of jobs created in the area if you get that. You know, the exact number, but
Right.
any job creation is really good for our region.
No, it's all economic development, right? So, and he's specifically said the county of Northern Lights, right, they're not looking at a broader region, or hard to say,
And he said he's looking for support from us to build that facility. They want to use some of the mill just north of us, some of the waste products from that, and also agricultural waste products to actually do the activated carbon part of it. And these carbon will be used, like you said, in this in R&D for water purification, air pollution extraction, renewable batteries, and some other applications, which I think is a good course.
And so, where would the location be in the north?
He has not disclosed that yet,
Oh,
but it would be in the area, so I don't think they're
Close.
the proximity would probably be as close as possible to the mill, just to
right?
save on transport costs.
We would think that they would want to have rail access, highway access, and a source of carbon, right? So I don't know if Mercer would. If they have white product that we could use, I guess. This is just a kind of an idea so far, so I guess we'll wait and see, but I don't see any reason why we wouldn't send a letter. of
no, I
support.
think it's awesome, yeah. I'll make the motion to,
Okay, Councillor Sinski, receipt of the report and we'll issue a letter of support to NL Research Corp. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
6.1.2, administration CAO report.
So under my CIO report, most of my items that I have today is legal, so we'll discuss that in camera. And the only one that I do have is a letter of support for the Manning Elementary Community Enhancement Society. That is one of those that I just need ratification on, because we already sent out that letter, and after we sent it to council, so that is just to ratify that.
Yeah, that's the one that we circulated in an email requesting that everybody have no problem supporting us. So we just gotta do the formal motion for it. So somebody want to make the motion that we acknowledge the CEO report and issue a letter of support to Manning Elementary Community Enhancement Society. Okay, Councillor Deacon, all in favor? Carried.
Yes.
So that's it for your report. Finance, item A, the April to August check register.
all the numbers this month.
So, everything but a bank record.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is, like you said, check registers and an online payment remittance advice information for all of our payments from April until August. Finally, here for your review.
Thanks, Josh. I know that we put a lot of effort to get all of this to this stage.
Well, this one actually shouldn't have been that far behind, but different issues. Here nonetheless.
Yeah, just,
I am aware, and I will point out, some of the descriptions actually cut short. I'm working on making that better for you guys. Just so it actually can give us something that's meaningful. But anyways, work in progress. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
The Ukrainian Greek cemetery, that's just that normal 1,000 we give each of them, right?
So there's a few things on here, because it covers such a span of time. We've got our cemetery funding, CCAP funding.
Right.
Tractor bill payments, re-gravel bill payments, all sorts of things on it.
So on page 16 of that report, Caribbean Catholic Parish, $2,000, so it's just,
They've got two different cemeteries. that are-
oh, so. I figured it was something.
We saved the postage and stuff.
Well, there's a lot to look at there, but if anybody has any questions for Josh, otherwise get a motion to acknowledge receipt of the check register. Accept your
I'll make,
motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Councillor Lewis, all in favor? Carried. And then our year-to-date budget, Josh.
All those numbers.
That was a lot of pages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so as far as the budget goes, a lot of carryover comments that are the same. Just I'll try and pick out the new comments. There's some similar comments that have been written in there for a couple meetings in a row now. Penalties and costs on taxes, I wanted to chat about this one. So it's account 1,500. Although it looks really good because it's a revenue source and it's way over budget. The bulk of the penalties we're charging are on oil and gas or other amounts that probably aren't going to be collected, so just remember that. The bulk of those are gonna end up getting written off anyway. Just the way our system applies those, we can't pick them out at that time.
The map sales was pretty awesome.
So I wanted to touch on that quick, yeah.
That was what I said.
It's a really small number in the grand scheme of things, but. So the company that runs the iHunter app wrote us a check for $6,000, just over $6,000 for last year's sales. I don't know that we've been much over $6,000 in app sales since I've been here in 8 years, so. The map is actually a little cheaper there, they only update it once a year, I think it's $21 now is what they charge people who have the app, but. Kind of a check in the box of gearing towards your hunting and tourism groups, because that's what that's used for. Let's see. The rest of it's all stuff that's kind of been in there, so. And just the last one, the requisitions debenture interest, so that's still kind of a work in progress with the bank reconciliations. Those are all amounts that I captured through journal entries. So I suspect by the end of the month we'll be more caught up on those, but I've also said that to you guys 3 times. So that was kind of the whole budget, then just drilling down into council. There's really nothing to pick on yet, other than so set up a new costing center for the regional energy committee. So as of right now, you've just got the $6,000 in collections that we've had so far. So we're still missing one municipality. I believe Temecula River or 2, yeah, 2. We've got Northern Sunrise, us, and Grimshaw.
These are really.
Yeah. However, we haven't spent any money either that I'm aware of, so I guess that's probably okay. Council grants, you've got 17,000 remaining in your unallocated miscellaneous grants. And so that was, you guys had a note in my directors of finance report that you just had to read last meeting there, because I was not here. But the food bank called and we've just missed paying them between Teresa leaving and me filling in the gap between Gary getting here, so. They've been paid now and that's all been taken care of as well, but that cut your grants down. Town of Manning, the amounts are showing as over budgeted. We work on estimates of that and then it's all based on their prior year actuals, so it's normal for it to be off a little bit. At the end of the day, our whole budget's not gonna be over anyway, as you can see from the lack of concerning comments in here. And then I did just give you a summary as well this time of the capital projects at the very end, just so you have an idea of what the spending is like there as well.
That capital and ICF amounts over budget, is it, do you have a number or a percentage, or is it?
No, it's in there, that's the number, yeah. So we were 61,000 over on the operating side. 5,500 on the capital. The capital's not surprising, they usually find one or two more things that happen throughout the year than we've been given in our preliminary list. And the operations thing, you can tell by the round number in the budget, we just didn't have a great estimate at the time we passed our budget, so we worked with what we had.
And the South Grader, holy man.
Oh, so the South Grader is not,
not the scariest thing.
it's not as bad as it looks because that's,
Well, it looks like a lot.
yeah, but that's.
Cause that's what, put 2 stars beside that one.
That $600,000 was net of a trade-in. And we have not yet traded in the old one.
Okay.
If you remember, we had to do a $60,000 motor replacement on that thing. And then they weren't gonna give us any more money than the original appraised value for trade-in. So we're going to deal with the sale of that separately outside of the transaction. And I would think we would get 180 grand for it, no issue.
I'm thinking we'd get more than that.
Yeah.
Next council meeting, I'll bring it to you guys for surplus.
Perfect, okay. Yeah, cause that's the big variance there. Alright.
That's why I had to know it.
Yeah, I do
That's
that
where
one.
2 stars, that is over 100.
And that actually just got delivered yesterday, same with the backhoe jumper, so, yeah. Give it, I can steal Charles's thunder. The rest of the stuff, I understand Tim is working on the fire things. We just, don't have any costs yet, and likely for a while, so.
I really like seeing that summary, I'm glad you put that in there, thank you.
No, and I honestly try to, you just up until now, you can even see what's actually been spent now, there's not a lot of money actually being allocated here early in the year, so.
Yeah, for sure.
That is all I have for you on this topic.
Okay, anybody got some questions on the budget? Okay. If not, their motion to acknowledge receipt, Brent will do that, all in favor?
Yes,
Thanks, Josh. We're on page 2, agenda. And we just on the public works report. Oh,
Yes, so sorry for not getting you guys an actual report written up. I was gone all last week with pneumonia, so. Yeah, it's been fun. But I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on some things. Re-gravel, we're done in Sunny Valley Pit as of yesterday afternoon.
I was quite pleased to see the road empty of trucks today.
Right. Yeah, well,
Right.
oh, I know, even the short time I've been driving up there, yeah. So they're now in East Peace number 7 pit is what it's called, it's in East Manning. By the Heights. So they'll start tomorrow, I don't believe they're running today.
how
So,
many days will that be?
go 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks, yeah.
Thanks to Josh, he stole my thunder. Our shiny new grader arrived. And like I said, I'll bring next council meeting an RFD for you guys to declare the old one as surplus so we can sell it. Little somber news, Range Road 231.
So, sorry, Joel, maybe just share some pictures of that before it actually gets dirty, so we can put it. in
Oh,
our-
I do have some, so yeah, that'll come in that RFD.
I thought you were gonna say that council have a turn driving it over.
The
Well,
guy
that's
looking after
the new
the
place.
insurance, no.
So Range Road 231 south of Sunny Valley Road. We've had a fairly significant issue with the bridge. The abutment boards have broke and the deck panels are falling into the creek. Hence, we have closed the bridge. Unfortunately. That has not deterred people from driving down there. Nothing's happened yet. And from a liability standpoint, we're covered. But if you choose to drive across a bridge that says bridge closed and very evidently falling into the creek, you might end up buying the municipality a new bridge. But So that's another instance of one of these bridges that needs repair that I don't know what the cost of this is gonna be yet, we're still in talks about that, but it's not gonna be cheap.
Is it like a fairly high traffic bridge or is there a detour available?
There is, so there's on the other side of the bridge, there's one resident who lives down there. Fortunately, he's a county employee. And he's the one that brought it up. I looked at it. Yeah, it was obvious. That's me closed.
Just a comment, so this is one of the items that we have on the agenda when we meet, if we get to meet the minister, so I did send out that request. I have not heard anything back from them.
So has there been a step application on that one?
No, it was not as high a priority
At the time?
at the time. Even now. With where it is and what it services. Still not that high priority. We've got other ones that are. Yeah, they're not falling into the creek right now, but they. Like the Blue Bridge that we drove by, that's been high priority for the last 3-4 years. So that's the one that's getting applied for next year, or this year, sorry.
So will that 231, the one you're describing, will that need a total replacement or can it be rebuilt?
It doesn't need to total replacement, it needs to be, obviously the bridge panels, the deck panels need to be jacked back up. The abutments replaced, so in the conversations that I've had, it's been suggested that we just end up switching those timber boards for steel plate boards. And it should buy us 20 years. Still not cheap, but. I'm not even gonna. Give you a rough estimate because I don't know. And I don't want to get your hopes up, but we'll see what he comes back with, the engineer.
So other than the one resident, is there agricultural land that it serves as well?
That's why they've been moving the signs, so they can. So between Sunny Valley Road and. I want to say 904. That doesn't sound right, is it right? Yeah. There's only one resident there, the one bridge, and. So all field access from. On the south side of that bridge can be accessed from 904, everything, north side, Sunny Valley Road. So it's not like they have to cross the bridge. It is more of a convenience thing. A lot of the things, or a lot of the traffic that appears to be crossing the bridge are pickups. Which isn't a terrible thing, but it's not ideal either, because you're further deteriorating something. We were told that we could just put a max 4-ton restriction on it, and I said no. We need to close it because we know what max 4-ton the agricultural community is. It's a little over 4 ton.
So it's just currently signage, there's not like an actual.
There's no actual concrete barricades.
So that may be
It's-
something that we need to look at to cover ourselves. Like, I know we're probably covered.
Yes, that is something we're thinking.
And like you say, to protect what's left of the asset, right?
So that is something that we have tossed around because.
Well, I guess, I mean, you put up the signs first and you try that, and then when it doesn't work, then you get harder into it, right? But I think we should try to.
Protect it as much.
Stop.
as we can.
Yes,
Or
stop
if
it, get
there's
more damage.
barriers and just get moved to.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, but something, right?
So I understand the engineers are doing an inspection and evaluation, they'll give you a report.
They've already done an inspection on
You're
it.
just waiting for the
They had
report.
said that we could go to a 4-ton restriction. And that's when I said, well. No. We're not doing it, restriction, we're doing a full closure. I just wanted his opinion on it because. And to get the ball rolling towards a repair and a fix for this issue. He came out with the idea of, well, I'm gonna let you know when you can drive across this bridge. So, nothing anymore, but.
So that same engineers that did the evaluation, they'll give a cost estimate on it?
Yeah, they're gonna work at getting the cost together, and we're gonna plan for it from there.
So if you, just by looking at, it, can you tell it's an issue or do you have to
Yes.
get underneath it?
Oh, you can tell just by looking at it, and then you look underneath, and it's even more apparent.
So it's quite obvious.
Yeah, it's not, cause it was so, when my guy called me and said, this bridge looks like it's kind of sinking in the middle. I almost immediately knew what was wrong, but I went out there anyway, and, poked my head underneath, and it was not pretty. It's, that big 6x6 board is broken in the middle, and everything is kind of dropped in. So. Not ideal. But we'll get a.
The decking itself is.
The decking itself is fine. As far as we can
Something,
tell. Yeah, oh yeah, it's not completely terrible. It's. And a lot of these issues that we're having are. Components, and not the whole bridge. So for, in this example, or in this instance, it's an abutment board. In last year, Sulphur Lake Road Bridge was similar thing, abutment boards, just everything sloughing into the creek, like it's just a lot of little things here and there. Ross Creek Bridge, and we'll talk about in a minute, bridge deck, that was the issue on that one. Just a lot of little things to play whack-a-mole with, right? So. Unfortunately, nothing with bridges is cheap. So. It's unfortunate, but we're doing the best at planning and hitting these issues as best we can. Any other questions on that?
No, we'll just, I guess,
Cause
for council's stance, I guess we want to wait and see what the estimate's gonna be and then.
oh yeah, we're not, this isn't gonna be a quick thing.
No,
And get some barriers on there, I think, would
Yeah.
be good
Yeah.
to stop further damage.
Yeah, for sure. I had a call yesterday, and I figured I'd throw this in here. Not a Kewen hamlet, there is a horseshoe road that has been requested to have a local traffic only sign or a children at play sign. That was one of the requests. That one is we're going to be doing. The other one that I kind of wanted to get council direction on is this resident has requested a fire hydrant in the hamlet. I don't know the feasibility of it is with our current infrastructure. If you wish, I can look into it. She made the comment that, if you look at what happened in North Star and all the houses, it'd be a good idea to have a fire hydrant there so that the residents can come and use it to put out their house when it's on fire. It was very strange.
Just to comment on that, as a firefighter myself,
Yeah.
the range that we have on the trucks for the high volume hose is only 300 feet. So I don't think that would be, the whole area would be bigger than 300
Oh, yes.
feet. So it's not really, you're gonna have, every 300 feet, you're gonna have one, if that is the case. There's a truck full there, we have a 10 that contains.
I was gonna say, any rural fires, a tender always attends with.
Yeah.
Right? So you bring your water with you, right?
Yeah, and the comment was more or less that if the fire department can't get there in time.
So I received a call,
I was, yeah.
the same resident, and, part of it was a concern regarding the hydrant, concern of insurance. Now, insurance, they always want to know when they give you a quote, how close you are to a hydrant, not with raised as well.
Yeah, it was, there was. And I'm sorry, Brent, because she actually is not your resident, she's.
I know.
Terry.
I questioned it.
Yeah. She had made the comment that, well, is Brent still my counselor? And we're like, well, I guess. Not realizing it until after she started talking about where she was, that.
I never got that call. One of my peers. So I mean, we have, you know, just for comparison, we have hydrants in Dixonville that I don't think are even really functional, are they? Yeah, but I thought at one time they said that there wasn't enough pressure or volume.
No, they're fully functional.
Yeah.
Well, we just winterized them, so
Okay.
I hope so, otherwise we're wasting our
I
time.
just remember that conversation from years ago that the hydrants, they were there, but they were never used, right? So
with the previous system we had.
so now with the piece with the water line, piece of.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they're, as long as I've been here, they've been fully functional. So, and I mean,
So get back to this local traffic only.
Yeah.
Is that common in a hamlet to have that or?
it's not uncommon, and the way that the road is, I understand the concern that she had raised. And for what it's worth, post a sign is not unreasonable, it's not the most unreasonable request we've ever received, so.
So it's not going to the service down there?
No, it's there's a little horseshoe second tab, I think is what it's actually technically called, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, whether anybody, you know, respects the sign or not, I guess.
Well, and that was the exact comment that I made, because one of the issues that was raised is a certain individual that's coming and driving through there rather quickly. And she figured that this sign is going to hear that, but if they're not obeying the speed limit, they're probably not gonna obey the local traffic only sign, but we're willing to give it a try, so.
What is the current speed limit there?
I don't think it's actually posted, but inside, but it's 50.
I know it's posted when you come on the township road coming from the west, there's a.
Yes, that's, yeah, you're right, yeah, it's a 50. In all reality, I don't see how you could get up to any significant speed in that horseshoe anyway, but. Haven't seen it, so I'm gonna. Comment too much on that.
So when you finish your report, would you need a motion from council to have that sign?
Oh, no, I can, no, I don't need to get this, for that. I put up signs all the time.
Well, yeah. This was a little bit of a one-off. one.
Yeah, this is a bit of a different one. I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. And the fire hydrant thing, I don't know if we. Leaving that up to you guys to tell me what to do.
Sorry, one last question from my side, is that, are you gonna put up a sign to actually reduce the speed even further, or with just an additional?
Just local traffic. Okay, yeah. And children at play if we have it. I'm
If
pretty
you're
sure.
gonna reduce the speed further, I do need a motion for that part.
Oh, yes, for sure. Yeah, no, that's. Like I said, though, I don't see how anybody can get up to any significant speed in that area anyway. But yeah, as far as the fire hydrant goes, it's, if you guys want me to look into it and come back with a price. It's not gonna be cheap.
No, I think you probably got better things to do with your time, because I don't know that that would actually be something that we would do. I think you say their fire hydrants are made for firefighting, right?
Oh, exactly.
They're made for pumpers to look up to them.
I don't know what the local people would actually use to connect to the hydrants and actually.
Well, that's the part that worried me.
It could be endangering their lives more than actually they trying to put out a fire.
So. And I mean, with the truck fill right there, it's easy enough for fire department to fill up. So, anyway. Okay.
Couple fines would be more, can't fit with their budget.
So two more things and then I'm out of your hair. Ross Creek Bridge has been completed. It's reopened. It looks fantastic. I will give you guys some pictures of that next go around.
Remind us which one that is.
That is the Bailey Bridge that is in West Dixonville. We inherited it a while back. The deck was falling through.
Yeah. Is that the one that, when the oil company put that bridge in? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we took it.
So has that been replaced or just upgraded or?
So we just, all we did, we pulled the old, the frame out. We redecked the bridge. We, did a little bit of a realignment of it just so that it's easier to get onto and off of the bridge. And, we're gonna throw some seed down, some silt fences put up. And away we go. It looks pretty now. There's actually been a fair amount of activity in that back area lately, not oil field, but forestry. I forget the name of the company, but they were out there when we closed the bridge originally. And they've been out there pretty steady since we reopened. And a little before on the other side of the bridge on the open side, but they're going in the back and they're spraying and counting trees and doing all sorts of stuff in there, so that's good to see.
And that one resident is still somebody actually living there or? Is it
Yeah,
just-
yeah, no, he's actually extremely happy with how everything went, how everything was handled. Because he's difficult to get a hold of. So it was a bit of a struggle, but no, once he got the right numbers and all that, he was calling on the daily and getting updates and making sure that he could make it out down on Fridays, and everything went really good, so. Same with so Range Road 215 culvert, I showed you guys pictures of that with the where the creek was undermining the road. That has been replaced and was finished yesterday. That one also looks, it was a 1.2 meter diameter by 50 meter long pipe. It was a long one.
50.
50, yeah. Yeah, she was a deep one. Yeah, everything went swimmingly on that one, so. Any questions on that?
That's it?
That's her.
Okay.
That's all I can think of, guys, anyway.
So yeah, we don't need any motions and we're not gonna proceed with the fire hydrant for now, so. We just need a motion to acknowledge receipt of DPW report, set for information of Councillor fees. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
Now we can move down to 6.6.1 subdivision report.
You do have Natalie and Debbie, I believe, online.
I see that. Good morning, ISL team.
Good morning.
So we're on to subdivision report 24L12.
Mhm.
If somebody wants to speak to that,
Yep, I can speak to it. Let me know when you're ready.
yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, for 24 NL12, the applicant proposes to subdivide a 16.2 hectare or 40-acre parcel from Southeast 21, 84, 22, west of the 5th meridian. The proposed lot size is in excess of the 4 hectare or 10-acre maximum of the county's land use bylaw, which is allowed in the agricultural general district. The larger parcel size meets the intent of Municipal Planning Municipal Development Plan Policy 4.2.4, which allows for extensive agriculture purpose. The quarter section and proposed lot are subject to the Agriculture General District. The quarter section is partially in agriculture production, has trees and shrub, and contains an existing house and accessory structures. The proposed lot is partially cleared and has remnants of a driveway that was used for logging purposes. There are no structures or buildings on the proposed lot. The proposed subdivision is not within any historical value designation, not within the Grimshaw Gravels Aquifer or a biodiversity zone. There are no low pressure or high pressure gas lines, abandoned wells, or records of spills or contamination within the quarter. The proposed lot has legal access from Range Road 223 to the east. The balance of the quarter has legal and physical access off of Range Road 223. The balance of the quarter section has a dugout for water supply and an open discharge / pump out for sewage disposal. There is no proposed servicing for the subdivision. This application does not conflict with the MDP. Policy 4.2.4 allows for the subdivision of land for extensive agriculture purpose if the proposed parcel is capable, in the opinion of the county, of sustaining a viable agricultural use, or the subdivision is required to accommodate a pre-existing authorized use. In this case, the proposed subdivision sustains a viable agricultural use and is required to accommodate a pre-existing agricultural use. The recommendation is to approve the application to subdivide a 16.2 hectare or 40 acre parcel from Southeast 218422 west of the 5th, subject to the conditions outlined in the report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council? So if it's seeing none, we need a motion to approve the subdivision with the 7 conditions. Somebody's prepared to make that. Okay, Councillor Reese. Last chance for questions. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
We do have a planning commission meeting coming up yet, but we could do that now, and we could just go to the community services after that. So if everybody wants to get their community or their municipal planning commission agenda out, we'll recess the regular meeting at 9:47 and call to order our NPC meeting at 9:47. Everybody ready? Okay. So call meeting to order, adoption of the agenda. A motion to that. Councillor Chuck, all in favor? It's carried. Minutes from our last MPC meeting back in August. Any discussion rising from that? If not, I get a motion to accept those for information. Councillor Yasinski, all in favor? Planning and development, we have some permits. We just need a motion to acknowledge those. Okay, Councillor Decken, all in favor? That's carried. And we have one development permit, DP 24-33. Did you want to speak to the development permit?
Yep, I can speak to it.
Okay, we're ready, whenever you are.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, for DP 2433, the applicant proposes to develop a detached, fully serviced garage that is 11.6 meters or 38 feet by 11 meters or 36 feet and 6.9 meters or 22.5 feet in height and within the front yard of the subject site. The site is located on 7722094 Lot D of Southeast 168423 west of the 5th and is designated Country Residential General District. The garage is considered an accessory building and is listed as a permitted use in the CR1 district. The site is the fourth subdivided parcel within the quarter. The entire quarter is within the country residential district. Surrounding land uses are comprised of CR1, agricultural general, and agricultural restricted. The proposed development is compatible with surrounding districts and land uses. The site is adjacent to and accessed via Range Road 233. The site will be serviced by an existing well for water supply and proposed septic tank for sewage disposal. This application does not meet section I 1.1 of the land use bylaw, which states that no accessory building or any portion of thereof or any accessory use shall be erected or placed within the front yard of any parcel. As a result, this application requires MPC approval to grant a variance because land use bylaw regulations do not allow an accessory building within the front yard of any parcel. In addition, the application does not meet section I 1.6 of the land use bylaw, which allows a maximum height of 6.1 meters or 20 feet. The application is for a 6.9 meter or 22.5 foot accessory building. This variance can be granted by the Development Authority and is within the allowable 20% discretion as per section C2.2 III of the land use bylaw. No circulation comments were received for this application. It is recommended that this application for an accessory building with a detached garage on 7722094 Lot D of Southeast 1684 23 West of the 5th be approved subject to the conditions outlined in the report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? So do we need two separate variances? Yeah.
Well, I'm just reading them.
You made it in one? Okay. So if there's no questions or no concerns, then we have to make a motion to grant the two variances, one on land use and one on the height. So somebody want to make that? I'll make a motion for that. Okay, Councillor Reese moves to go proceed to the application and grant the variances as stated there. All in favor? Carried. So with that, we now need a motion to approve the development permit with the 8 conditions. Okay, Councillor Thies, all in favor?
Yes.
Carried. And with that, we have no miscellaneous items, so I will adjourn our MPC meeting at 9:52. Thank you, ISL, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we can reconvene our regular meeting. So everybody's got that up. So 6.6.2 community service. Josh, you're gonna handle this, or is Trinity?
Yep. No, I can handle it.
Okay, so let's go to item A, the small business week awards and dinner that we had talked about before. End of October, if I remember.
October 25th. So last meeting, I think I gave you guys just a note to flag it in your calendars. We've got a few more details locked down now, so had a hard time finding a caterer. That's becoming a bit of an issue local to Manning here, but we've got that taken care of. We've got entertainment taken care of. We're doing it again in partnership with the town of Manning and the Chamber of Commerce. Voting for nomination on the awards is up online via SurveyMonkey already. We utilized award sponsors again who are gonna both help cover the cost of the awards themselves and also help present the awards. So looking very similar to last year's event for those of you that were there. And I think what we're asking for here, if I remember correctly, is just for council to officially send representation. And we typically have, I think it's been Terry predominantly, but just bring greetings at the beginning and say something about just the business community. And then as well, help present the employer of choice, I believe.
Okay. Well, I would be available if anybody else, I mean, we're open to whoever wants to attend, should be our panel, right? So if anybody else wants to. It is a very good event. It's very much well received by the business community. I know that.
I'll probably attend this one.
Maybe
You can present. I'll probably attend.
you'd like to attend as well.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Myself too.
You know what that is.
Terry, I wouldn't mind.
Brett,
And I'll make the motion and send the.
see, Lori, Linda, and myself, and will attend, and Brenda.
And I would like to attend too, Terry.
Yep, we got you down.
Okay,
There,
Yeah.
I'll bring this up.
I
Okay,
told him he has to MC, yeah. Right, the last video.
I asked if I could deduct my alcohol for that being sitting there. I let it be.
okay, Councillor Reese has made that motion that we send the naming councillors to the small business awards, all in favor? Carried. Next, item B is the North Star Outdoor Rink.
Yeah. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It's still broken. So we're just looking for some council direction, I guess, on what exactly you want to do. So I think Trinity prepared this, she's provided some options, but essentially. Do we want to keep it there, and do we want to spend the money to try and get it back operational? It's probably not a popular comment, but personally, we've got 2 other rinks in the town of Manning, 15 minutes away anyway, so I don't know if it's necessary. That being said, it probably shouldn't sit in its current state forever. So if we aren't going to do that, we should look at removing it, reseeding it to grass, and just expanding the fence of the playground area.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, I was just wondering, have we talked to anybody that lives there, or what they would like done there?
No, we have not. Would council make a town hall about the North Star Playground and rink?
Well, you know, maybe they have some ideas, I don't know, but I just thought they do live there, maybe I like the idea where you said something about tearing it down and then making it so they can use it in the summer.
And like, in fairness, there's no, I think if we just tear it down and reseed it, we can do all that in-house, so not really a cost other than reallocation of labor. If we wanted to make this actually usable, the costs can vary drastically from just making it usable to actually making it something that would be usable year round.
Right.
There would likely be grant funding we could get for it. I mean, I'm not actually entirely sure there's any kids that even live in the hamlet of North Star anymore.
I'm thinking it'd be pretty tough to get a team together for a game there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to be willing to spend all the money to refurbish it.
If nobody's gonna use that, right?
Yeah, I don't know how well used it was before.
And I like a few years ago when we had it up and running, I know there was a couple times that there was maybe 5 or 6 kids out there. But
Yeah, my grandkids and they're moved to town.
your grandkids moved and took 100% of the child population away from them.
Probably 2. I think there's still 2 there. I'm not sure. Not my grandkids though, somebody else's.
I mean, the reality is it's what, 4 miles from Manning. It's an indoor rink that doesn't, you know.
One
I
indoor
don't
and
know, rink
2
as well.
outdoor ones that function typically.
So it's probably not the most utilized rink if we did spend a lot of money.
Is there still that playground equipment there?
Great question. There is, yeah. And we own a playground, so now we have to
Yep.
inspect it once a month. It's really cool.
There you go.
Somebody still uses it because there's garbage left there all the time, and boots. And various other random toys that just get left there, but
Yeah, I know there's a few other children there because they used to play with our grandkids, right? So
yeah, so, but other than that, it's like we have to mow the lawn there in the summer and do the playground inspection. Replace anything that's deemed dangerous. If you're ever curious, Trinity's got the Bible of Playground Regulations, which is a real thing. It's terrifying that it exists, but it does, so. Want to peek through that, you can. But yeah, that, I mean, where you got no real plans of dismantling that at this point in time, but the rink as it sits, it's just not feasible, it's not usable, it's just a big waste of space right now, and probably somewhat a safety hazard, being as it's located next to the playground.
Well, on a lighter note, Charles just moved to the area and he's probably gonna have like 7 or 10 kids.
Oh, yes, of course.
There's 2 hockey teams coming up there.
Well, it shouldn't be,
We'll work that into the long-term financial planning.
guess we could find the people in North Star and send a survey to see if they want the rink or not. I mean, we could do that, so do a little bit of transparency, but.
Yep.
I don't know, just sort of a, would you, sort of a questionnaire?
Yeah, it would be easy enough, just,
Yeah.
I can bring that back to you, just the people within the hamlet boundary.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, where to draw the line?
Exactly.
And I
Well,
mean,
at
there's
least
surrounding-
within the hamlet, I mean, why not? And that's their little hamlet.
But could we can throw it up online and just.
Or online even, yeah, for sure.
I'm 4 miles away, honestly, Terry, I've used it one time.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but people like yourself with,
Yeah.
with the family, right, that could potentially, you know, wanna be part of that survey. But,
That's what I thought. I think it's
Maybe
good.
you just do a mile radius and see how many people have. It's-
Or just.
Or if you put it online,
Online.
it's- and
Yeah.
people in Weberville really even not gonna respond, right, so.
Yeah.
But,
I'm,
is that your motion, Brian?
I'm hearing
I mean, it
online,
just sort of, we want to be transparent with our, just not start tearing stuff down and then people calling and sort of what their opinion is, if. If they don't want it, and we need to clean it up, so we've got to do something. So keep my motion. But I would say just on the hamlet, that's my.
Okay, yeah, well, that's your motion, that's fine. Okay, so we have a motion by Councillor Decken to acknowledge the outdoor rink report, and we'll do a questionnaire within the hamlet. All in,
Sort
yeah,
of time sensitive, so that if we're gonna try to get this down this year,
well, I don't think you'll
you
demolish it
know,
this
you don't
year.
think that you're gonna.
if it ends up getting torn down, you can do that probably right through November, I would think, until the ground's froze anyway.
Well,
Through the posts, you will not have it reseed to grass, obviously, right
No.
before winter comes and kills
But
everything.
just so that it's.
Wonder if
really
the
viable for boards.
rink boards, if they come out, if they could be reset, you know, repurposed, somebody wanted to build their own rink somewhere, but I guess that's, or do you just go in there and smash it all down? Anyway, that's a
Right.
question. for
Each
the-
of those sheets of puckboard is worth like $90.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at that. We can probably do that.
Okay, we have a motion to do a little feasibility survey on it. All in favor?
Yes,
Item C, rec board donations May to August.
So that is just a report of the donations the rec boards have made for Q2. The North Rec Board did not give us a report, and the South Rec Board was given you who they funded.
Is this a required report?
According to the policy, yes.
And so that they're not, you haven't been giving them, or they're just.
They typically give us one for the first quarter and then one at the end of the year. It's just how things work. It's not super easy to get things from them during farming season.
Okay, any questions on this South Board rec report? We don't have anything to analyze on the north.
Well, and when you say analyze, I mean, they've paid them. But in the policy, you have the ability to ask them for clarification or more information or tell them that they shouldn't have paid that, I guess, ultimately, but.
Do we have to stipulate the guidelines of who they can.
We have the policy and the policy kind of outlines that, yeah. And we have to try to weed out people that are coming to ask you guys money directly. Just to make sure that we're avoiding duplicate payments. We encountered that a couple of times in my time here, but not very frequently. Most people are directed to these guys first. And then same thing, you'll notice there's quite a few,
Out of county,
well, not, there's one out of county, but the Black Cardinal Rec Association and the Weberville Community Hall both get hall board funding. So then when we see them pop up here, and same with the Dixonville Lifeguard Society, right? So we have to really make sure that if we funded them for something specific through the rec board, that they're not also putting that on their financials in a way that it would be caught hall board funding.
Like, cause what about like, cause the CCAP then too, right?
And CCAP, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like the riding arena, we have funded. However, they did it in a way that they were doing the project in phases. Your policy has a statement in there that just says we'll allow for it in phases. I think we funded phase 1 through CCAP, then I think it's 6.
so the policy does allow, like I see the Berwyn Ag Society, to do allow out of the county
So
funding.
I don't know. The policy is not.
Yeah.
This one is an out of town agency, but technically close to like the Grimshire area people. But they also did it at the old Black Cardinal Hall, which took place in the municipality. So I honestly have no idea if that
And
one
then
should be
they also-
fundable or not.
Well, I'm on the board and they did say that, county residents do participate.
Yeah. And that's what their application said. That's what the rec board actually asked about this. Or had a discussion about this one that we saw. So it's because it was open to our residents and it was within our municipality, they funded it, I think was the justification.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's,
Pretty reasonable, I think.
well, it is, if it is, but then that really opens it up to a lot of things are open to our county residents, right? That are not in the municipality, so.
Yeah,
And I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong or whatever, but it's fairly, you know,
So-
subjective decisions, right?
we know, and I've said this a couple times now, this policy needs to come back to you guys.
Absolutely.
Problem is that the policy, this policy needs input from the rec boards, the hall boards, because it's all, everything under one policy. And what we want to do with it. And then I guess first, like. You guys want this to continue through hall boards and rec boards, or would you rather see these kinds of requests come to you directly, right? That's another question that I would rather have answered before we bring back a policy to you guys.
I believe the committee did send the policy out to the rec board members to comment on the any changes.
Yep.
They wanted to. But I don't.
We did.
know.
Until we have a meeting, but then we're not gonna get any meaningful contributions.
So maybe we'll have to put that on a future agenda, then we'll have that discussion, so it gives you some direction when you rewrite the policy, if you rewrite it. And end of the conversation, basically, it's fine, but I'm not thinking it is fine, because it's.
But even just looking, like here, this is everything that they receive requests from even, so but the majority of it is related to halls or facilities as well, right? We've got Letty Lake, we've got a playground, we've got the Dixonville Ag Society riding arena and Black Cardinal playground. So there was actually only 2 or 3 events that were funded through it.
It
And
doesn't,
that's, I guess that's one of the things that we always not sure about is things like repairs on something. Like, is that, would that be fall under maintenance?
So
Which is operating, which they get funded for.
the biggest issue I have with this policy is it allows for capital projects up to $10,000, but it exempts facility maintenance of halls and hauling facilities. So when you look at a $2,200 repair to a playground, would that be a capital expense on our financial statements? Absolutely not. We'll see how they treat it on their financials. I have to watch for that now on their next whole board thing, because if it's run through as repairs and maintenance, I have to adjust for it to make sure we're not paying for that whole funding as well. So it's not super clear, and the problem is those are kind of subjective definitions that are different for everybody.
Is that why that one got,
even like hall repairs, thankfully, they did not fund that.
yeah, so you
Like,
say that one.
that
got
is,
denied.
that is not
Right.
fundable for
They-
this, yeah. They can pay for that from the hall board, and honestly, we pay 50% of certain expenses, the $345 that we would pay. Through the hall board funding criteria.
Yeah, I think it's time for it to come back.
Yeah, so I think,
We don't want it to turn into a loophole or issues, and maybe be clear so that the rec boards don't have to play the guessing game, right? Like, that's not fair to you guys.
Well, to be fair, like,
Well, they
Trin and I
usually
play a
contract.
guessing game as well.
Yeah,
There is some additional items that you need to also consider when grants like these are issued, are they still a registered entity? Because if you give money to a non-registered anymore entity, there's potential fine that could come to either the rec board or the county for that part. I know we had some issues.
And that's a requirement, Gerhard, of the application. However, for this one, the rec boards are weeding that out first and just supplying with us with the information after the fact.
Okay, so then there's also obviously, I haven't read this specific policy yet, but if there's reporting that we need to do, that's also quite important.
Yeah, and they have to do that as well, and just prove that they spent all the money, which actually was another problem, because one of them, we funded donated labor, which we typically wouldn't do either. However, it usually doesn't even come to that point, so it's kind of the first time we're seeing that. Again, after the fact.
so maybe in our motion, we could, besides acknowledging this report, we should maybe have administration put together a report for a future agenda, or we don't really need that motion for that, I guess that's
No,
just give you direction.
it's on our radar, and
Okay.
quite honestly, I just haven't had the time to focus on that yet.
Okay. Any other-
Terry, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. That North Rec Board, I see Brenda said that she's attended a meeting with her South Board. I have never been in, I don't think they really meet together. They just do it through emails.
Yeah, which is fine, we don't necessarily need them to meet, we've talked about this a lot, Linda. As long as you're having the ability or the option to contribute is what we would be looking for. And if you're not, that's a different thing.
That's, yeah. I guess I'll need to talk to you about that then.
Yeah. Y'all definitely needs some cleaning up, I would say, so.
I mean, most of them are volunteer people too, so it's really hard, right, to,
We're all volunteers.
yeah.
What was that word?
Do you want to say self-recreation?
It's a rec board report in general, but just it's missing the word.
yeah, I believe in the last time when we seen a report like this, they said they were out of money. So maybe that's why there's nothing. on them.
They've both been paid now.
I mean, the last time.
But-
North Rec Board had divvied out all the funds. they
But
had.
if there is a requirement to report, they can report that we have no funds, right? And then we go, right? And that's a simple
Then
report to
that
put
would be-
together. Okay, does somebody want to make a motion to acknowledge receipt of this report?
I will.
Okay, Councillor Hellevisti, all in favor?
Thank
Carried.
you.
Okay, that takes us down to the info package. There was one addition that was emailed to you. Other than that, any questions out of it? Not, somebody will acknowledge receipt, accept the information. Councillor Peace, all in favor? Carried. Open mic, Dan, got any questions?
What sort of conversations have you and the town had about the Manning Elementary School gym?
Really, we had a joint meeting with the town of Manning last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, last council meeting, and just kind of the conversation said, well, before it's too late, we should maybe just meet with the school board, see if there's any options, and what it might take to maybe save one of the gymnasiums. And that's as far as it's gone, so we now have a meeting, we have the town appointed representative, the reappointed representatives, and we will meet with the school board the school board doesn't actually own the building, it's Alberta Infrastructure, so they're kind of the go-between between the municipality and the infrastructure, so so yeah, we don't know what it'll look like. Maybe the contract says, no, it's going down, but maybe they can break the contract, I don't know.
I was wondering, could I get contact info for NL Research Corp?
Contract for,
For the NL Research
I
Corporation?
don't know if it's public yet or not.
I will check with the owner.
With the guy that asked for the letter.
Yeah, if he's willing to speak to you, and then I'll give you the contact details if you want.
Okay. And I was just a little confused, so the traffic signs. For Naughty Q, that's for Naughty Q, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the fire hydrant, that's for North Star?
No, not EQ as well.
That's for Naughty Q.
Yeah.
And I can see why that's not the best idea,
A fire hydrant. Yeah. No, that's. Maybe it's not a clear understanding of the resident of what the purpose of fire hydrant is. It's not there to hook a hose up and fight fire yourself. It's. So maybe just maybe the explanation of that would, satisfy them. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's an issue of insurance too, like, does an insurance company understand that there's a truck station there that, said fire hydrant, they recognize that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, conversation always comes up, insurance on rural residents, if you're so many kilometers from a fire hall. But then say, no, it's gotta be a manned fire hall, a volunteer fire hall doesn't count, but I guess that's a conversation done with your insurance company and they could answer that better.
Yeah, but Terry, I know in Cape River, they really want to know what about what we have, right? And then it's contents only. It's just
Right,
so I mean, for a hamlet, maybe we need to do something. I don't know. Just my opinion.
well, I mean, they all have access to the fire department that we pay dearly into, so I don't know.
That'd be all.
Well, everybody needs probably. Anything else down?
no, thank you.
All right, well, thanks. We're gonna take a quick recess and then go into camera, so. Short meeting for you today.
Yeah.